Hello, welcome back to art class. What we're going to do today is we are going to complete our 3D drawing of our pie. I do want to give the opportunity to add or make changes before you color. Now, most of you did a really great job of getting your basic drawing in. Make sure that your plate looks like it goes behind your pie. A couple people I had it cut a little short and it looked a little odd, so make sure your plate goes behind the pie. Make sure you have something in the background. Now, a lot of people did something similar to me, like you're against a counter, but I did have some people who used it like a kitchen table, and then they drew whatever was in the back of their room there, which was great. Okay, I want to give you an opportunity to change up your pie a little bit. That's really what our focus is, and then we'll do the coloring. You are going to need a pencil, eraser, and you're going to want to have colored pencil for this. So I did the basic pie. That's what we did, and I said it was going to be pumpkin pie. But I want to give you an opportunity to make it something more. So maybe you don't really like pumpkin pie. So maybe you want to do apple pie or cherry pies. There's so many different kinds of pie, I can't even go through all of them. Now that you have the basics, you can go in and change it. So let's say I have my pumpkin pie here, but I want to make it a apple pie. And apple pie sometimes, a lot of times, has a little bit of crust on the top. So what I could do there, now remember, please, this is totally optional, okay, is okay, so a lot of times there's crisscrossing layers for the pie. So I'm going to have a crisscrossing. Again, this is totally optional. You don't have to do this. I just want to give you an idea of what is possible. Okay, now I have this layer of crust that's on the top here. Well, it needs to show up on the side a little bit too, so because it would have a thickness. So all the pieces. So you can see that it's got a thickness on the side here. It's not very thick. Crust is usually not very thick. Then I would need to put in my look for the apple slices that are maybe on the side. So there might be some odd shapes. And what's nice is it doesn't have to be perfect shapes. I had a student who they really got into it, and they put, instead of whipped cream, they changed theirs out for ice cream. I thought that was a great change or add-in that they did on their own. Okay, so now you can see my slices of apple pie that are visible right here. So this gives you just a really basic way you could have a different kind of pie. If you want to stick with pumpkin pie because that's easier, then it's totally fine. Okay? Then the rest of it is going to be coloring. Now with the coloring, you do want to make sure that the side of the pie is slightly darker than the top of the pie. Okay, so let's say you were doing your pumpkin pie. You want an orangish color, but the side of the pie is going to actually, you know what? I'm sorry, that is wrong. Now that I'm thinking about it, the top of the pie is usually a little bit darker because it's a baked pie, because the top gets cooked a little bit more. So the top would be slightly darker, and then the side would be slightly lighter. Okay, so if we're thinking of a baked pie, that's kind of what it would be. If you're doing a different kind of pie, you're really gonna have to take a picture of it and look at it and see which layer should be what. So you will have to kind of pay attention to whatever kind of pie you're doing. As you saw, I did give you some options and pictures to look at of different slices of pie to give you ideas. Like I said, you can keep it simple. That's fine. Let's say you wanted to do a pumpkin pie that you would have a slightly darker orange, like a brownish orange on the top because it's been cooked, and then a lighter orange on the side. Okay. Let's say you wanted a chocolate pie of some kind. Well, then you would have probably slightly lighter pie here, like a lighter brownish color, and then a darker brown on top. Okay? Hopefully that makes a lot more sense. And then the rest of the colors is kind of up to you how you want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward as I'm coloring because you guys kind of get the idea how to color. Just make sure you're neat and following your lines really well. If you want, in the end, you can Sharpie outline this, but I think if you do a good job coloring, that won't be necessary. All right, so I kept mine in a little cup here because they keep rolling all over the place. All right, so when you're completed, you can go ahead and snap a picture of it and then upload it to Google Classroom. And I will see you next week.